Game number 1 in the semi-final, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Night Elf versus Night Elf. Foggy going up against the Sonik. Northern Isles, our first map here, and down to the bottom left we have Sonik in yellow. All the way up to the top right we have Foggy starting up here. We actually saw him already in a previous series a little bit earlier on today against Effect, and with great success here on the map too. This is the semi-final. We have another best of 3 series at the Endgame Gear Masters. So already, both of the players, by reaching the semis, have actually gotten a fair amount of points for the standings. Now keep in mind, this is the first qualification tournament out of 3 in total, where players can gather points to qualify for the final tournament. In total, 8 players will make it to the final tournament, which is a double elimination system. And once that the participants have been reduced to only 4, the 4 players will be invited to an offline tournament that will take place in Germany, in Osnabrück, in the esports factory on August the 17th. And that final is, by the way, open to the public. So if you live nearby and you actually want to check it out, you should definitely have a look at the website, endgamegear-masters.com, and check it out there. There's tickets that you can get, and don't worry, the tickets pretty much only to judge how many people are going to attend the event. But let's find out who's going to get the points for the first qualifier. Obviously, if you win the entire thing, you get a pretty big advantage. We have Demon Hunter against Keeper. Alright, so seeing that Demon Hunter in action again. Honestly, every single time I cast WarCraft 3 these days, there's a couple of flashback moments that just happen, and especially when you're looking at a game like this one, there are still a couple of series back in the days where we had on Lost Temple Demon Hunter against Human, and there was this one insane series where Take actually played as the human player, and I think the Demon Hunter on the other side with Immolation went for an attack against the early expansion and in the end took down 120 peasants or something. It was one of the most insane games that I've ever seen in my entire life, and it was just a battle from start to finish. So Demon Hunters, as annoying as they oftentimes are, can make for incredible fun games, and the aggression that comes with them that you usually try to showcase, where you pressure your opponent from the get-go, is absolutely incredible. Once you hit level 6 with these bad boys and there's just metamorphosis kicking in and you're just having the demon flying around there, it is a lot of fun. But either way, we're going to find out if it works against Foggy here. Sonik has been successful. There's a lot of Night Elves actually in this part of the tournament bracket. And we have a potential 3rd Night Elf even joining in the semifinals. Currently, we're having Spiral, an Orc player from Germany, waiting in semifinal number 2 for his next opponent, which is either going to be Van, White and Nerdy, or it's going to be Star-Shaped. So we might have another Night Elf representing Loon and whatnot there. So yeah, the Tree Huggers doing pretty well in this tournament so far. And talking about Tree Huggers, we have 2 right in front of us, and one of them already attacking down at the bottom of the map, the Ancient of War. And that is currently doing pretty well there. With a little bit more micro. Okay, there's the Wisps coming in, so the Ancient is going to be saved. That would honestly be a massive disaster. If you lose that early on in the game, you know you are in trouble. That early Ancient of War kill, if it ever happens, is just insanity. But right now, the Demon Hunter is trying to harass the base a little bit. There's obviously the good old ring around the rosy play with a gold mine. Wisp in, wisp out, just trying to save them as much as you can. And this is exactly what Foggy now has to pull off to make sure that the Demon Hunter doesn't get too much value topside. The tag into Tier 2 has already started. And the Demon Hunter is obviously just trying to piss his opponent off a little bit. And Demon Hunters are really good at this. Demon Hunters are really good at pissing off their opponent. So that's a level 2 already for him. Has, of course, the Gloves of Haste that we've seen a bit previously. Since down at the bottom, we're having now even more archers starting to go straight for a little bit of solo creeping. There's a tag also underway for Sonik into the Tree of Ages, so both of them are trying to tag straight to Tier 2. But generally speaking, the hero choice at the beginning of the game obviously already marking that there is going to be a bit of a difference in strategy and also in the way that they can join into those fights. The opening with archers is still pretty normal here. We're having also now the scroll of the beast taken. In the meantime, we will probably see that Demon Hunter also going into Boots of Speed later on, just to be able to stick to those enemy heroes a little bit more. It's one of the big things that you want to do with this. Honestly, back in the days, I think the first one who ever really used Boots of Speeds and played around them was Grubby. There was a game on Lost Temple where he was one of the first ones that had a Demon Hunter with Boots of Speed and actually body blocked his opponent's hero continuously while also weaving a couple of hits in every now and then. And these days, that's pretty much normal. I mean, it's honestly just what you would expect from a player on these levels. Like, back in the days, that was just absolutely insane. That was never seen before, and that was just a fantastic idea. And this is really how a lot of these strategies just evolved and developed over time. So it was pretty cool to just see all of that back in the day there. But even these days, we have a lot of innovation that is coming through if there are opportunities for that. And especially now, since Blizzard is starting to supply a couple of new patches every now and then, those changes can oftentimes be used then to try and mix in a couple of new strategies, timings, and so on. Gauntlets of August Strength, level 3 for the Keeper, and a Naga Sea Bitch as the second hero, as we're having the Panda coming into play here. Yeah, not only in Heroes of the Storm do we see Chen these days. The Barrel Keg Boy is already in play here as the second hero with all that AoE damage that he brings to the table in WarCraft 3. Sobi Mask has been taken, and we're also seeing a bit of additional scouting thanks to the sentry wards that have been claimed here. The attack obviously now coming in against the Tusker Trapper, and with Anaconda, Blizzard's very own word joke, we now have a hero that can definitely make it a bit trickier to escape with any of these heroes. And we talk about AoE quite a bit, but when we're talking about the Naga, it's obviously the Frost Shot is incredibly powerful to slow anybody down, but you have the Forked Lightning too that you can use with great effect to take down as many of your opponents' archers and low HP units in general, as you probably can. At this point, we're having a Book of the Dead taken, and that's always a bit of a weird item against Night Elf, because if there are any wisps around when the actual fight starts, then one single detonate is just going to make sure that the Night Elf player that goes up against the book will get a huge amount of experience, and you basically didn't get anything out of it. So oftentimes in a late game scenario, the book is even being sold or just used in very specific situations. But it can definitely be a huge help. If there are no wisp around for the opponent, if you're trying to attack anything else on the map, it can be used with great effect here. Level 3 Demon Hunter, level 3 Keeper on the other side. Both of the second heroes are already on level 2. And over to the top right, we're now having a double Ancient of Lore being built for Foggy, and down to the bottom of the map, having of course a very similar setup here with one Ancient of Lore already in action. Yeah, it's time for Forked Lightning and the Mana Burner as well, and Anaconda is immediately out of mana right there. Alright, nicely done. I mean, with this, we're now also having another opportunity to just try and go again for a couple of hits here against against those treants that are moving in. There's the focus against the Demon Hunter once again, and he's already suffering quite a bit, but we have the Staff of Preservation already, and therefore an easy save on that. We still have Foggy now being heavily aggressive against Sonik. The attack is there again. Wand of Mana Stealing already employed by the Panda to try and go in for this one. Naga Sea Bitch is also on the move way back. But the expansion is now in play up to the top, and this is actually one of the big advantages that Foggy already has. Foggy is sitting at 44 supply against 48. He's not too far behind. There is obviously still that sentry ward down here that gives some vision to what's happening, and so far the base hasn't really paid off. But it is something that puts the timer now onto this play. At some point, Sonik will have to make a move. He either has to counter-expand or has to just simply go for it and put pressure onto that. For now, it's just hoping to get the Panda on level 3 as quickly as possible. Another item gotten. The Crystal Ball is already there. Not really the best item. Again, it's not really what you want to find here on this slot. In an ideal world, you would find something a little bit better. But Blizzard has actually changed the item levels a little bit in the last patch to make sure that the Crystal Ball is not contesting with any of the top tier items any longer, just to make sure that it's not as much of a loss as it previously was here. Still all about the experience though. The Panda already trying to get into the back line. Yeah, another quick mana burn, this time against the Keeper, who still has quite a fair amount of mana pool thanks to the Panel of Energy. but also the heals now on Sonik. He needs to keep that Demon Hunter in play and needs to be careful there. Here comes the Ensnare and the Staff of Preservation. Used again. Another mana burn and another Breath of Fire. The Dryad is also biting the dust. Sonik still on 52 supply against Foggy's 43. Foggy is losing a lot of ground here. He really has a huge problem at his hand now. He might have the expansion, but if he loses the army here, then he's going to be in a world of pain. 37 supply are just not enough. Another ensnare against the Demon Hunter, who is just mildly amused by it, especially since he still has a potion of healing in the inventory. And as long as the Naga can't come in with another Fogged Lightning, there's just absolutely not enough pressure against this. 46 supply against 37, so definitely an advantage now for Sonik, but he needs to try and take that base out eventually, because Foggy is getting the better income right now. Double the income, to be honest. So there's a couple of additional Dryads now being built as well, but if Foggy can lick his wounds for a little bit longer and get those Druids of the Claw into play, then this is a completely different story. So they are starting to go straight in for the top left now, as the attack is already ramping up right there. Foggy already getting attacked. Sonik still sitting tight here, getting another mana burn through. Trying to make sure that a Keeper is not going to be a threat. I mean, again, you're trying to shut down those entangles as you do with the Fogged Lightning, so you need to be careful with this one. We're having, again, the attack against those structures, and things are starting to become a little bit dicey for Foggy. I mean, he has to really defend against this. And Foggy is at 50 supply right now, so he definitely is mirroring the numbers that we're seeing for Sonik, who actually crossed over into the lows, the low upkeep. So there is definitely a chance with all of the Dryads now coming through. And that Panda is on level 4. Demon Hunter himself only on level 3. But the attack is coming, and that's the end of the first Ancient of War. The pressure is on. The income is still rocking in. And Foggy is sitting at 58 supply. He still has a couple of units in the main base. And he's also trying to go for additional Druids of the Claw. But the Tree of Life is now getting attacked. And you don't want to lose out on that base. It's a massive problem right now. Again, the Naga under pressure. They're starting to go straight in with the piercing damage against the unarmored units. The focus fire against the Dryads is obviously devastating. Nobody killing that bloody Dryad, by the way. That thing is absolutely tilting me so hard. Sonik has a... finally goes down. Sonik has a unit that has a hit point or so for, I mean, half an hour. At least that's what it felt like. And finally gets eliminated. But in terms of supply, we still have 53 for Foggy. He has to repair all of this now, and is only using 2 of his Wisps because he's trying to bait out the Breath of Fire. But the attack is still there, and once this Tree of Life falls, it's going to be a disaster for Sonik. But, sorry, for Foggy, but it seems like he can hold this, or can he? No! The attack, and that is the end of the expansion. Foggy, he has the Master Bears right now. There's another Dryad that gets lost by Sonik, but Foggy is on 48 supply against 41. This is a weird one, boys, because there is a Tree of Eternity in the main base of Foggy, so this base has definitely had a bit of an effect, because as you can tell, there is more supply for Foggy than for Sonik. He is 7 ahead. There's also no tier 3 tag just yet for our Night Elf player in yellow, which pretty much means that the income that was generated by that second expansion was put into additional tech on top of the army size as well. And Foggy is not hesitating at all. I mean, not even for a second. He drops another Tree of Life there. And Sonik lost a lot in this attack, especially in the last few seconds, as he just desperately tried to take down that Tree of Life. Now he has a Panda on level 4.5, which is definitely going to be a beast to deal with, but there's also the Demon Hunter to account for. Problematic is just simply that the Night Elf player in red is not waiting for even 1 second. They go straight in for the attack here. Here come the Wisps for the Detonate, trying to make sure that there's no mana available anymore, but this is a problem. And another Druid is about to fall any second. Sonik is trying to save it for now, but the Keeper is homing in and delivers the final blow. In comes the attack with the Forked Lightning, and Sonik is in trouble. Foggy, he wants to go to the grand final. This is a best of 3, and in game number 1, he's looking pretty fantastic right now. The Moonwells are empty, and it seems like at least the Demon Hunter is gonna fall. No, gets portaled out. Oh, but the Panda is down. Someone called Peter. The animal abuse is a little bit too much here, and Sonik finds it unbearable, leaves the game, and this is the lead in the best of 3 series for Foggy as he claims a victory on map number 1. Game number 2, the lead in the series as we are looking at Concealed Hill. That was our second map for Foggy. Yep, our Night Elf towards the top, this time in red, or actually for the second time in red, has taken the lead, has taken the 1-0 against his opponent in the semi-final. Sonik with the aggression with the Demon Hunter and his push with Archers and Dryads against the expansion of Foggy. And I mean, at the end of the day, he really took down the expansion. The problem was that the cost was just too high. He lost a fair amount of units and he was never in a position where he could actually keep up with the tech that Foggy put onto the board. And it was a little bit close because Foggy obviously had to buy himself quite a bit of time to make sure that he got the master upgrade for his bears as well. But as all of that came in, he just could go straight for a counter attack after he lost his expansion, put another Tree of Life into position, and then take the game from there. So Sonik, with maybe the right idea, the execution a little bit too slow, or Foggy just too good at delaying all of this. Now we're having the Keeper for Foggy again as the first hero, and down to the bottom of the map we have Sonic starting things up with a man with a mask again. And I'm not talking about the Beastmaster here, no. We're not gonna ask why there's Straw in the corner. But yeah, so the blind guy is going to lead the tree huggers, and we also have a forward ancient of 1 now from Sonic, so he's going to try and creep the shop as quickly as he can possibly here. So let's see how that's gonna work out for them. We're having, for the time being, nothing really too fancy here, but I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, I honestly wouldn't really mind to see another 3-mapper here. But whoever wins this series will move on to the grand final of the first qualifier here at the Endgame Gear Masters. And the first tournament so far has been quite a bit of fun, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm really also a bit excited to see how the last Orc is going to do in the other semi-final. And especially I'm interested who is going up against, because I still don't know who won the quarterfinal that we've been waiting for. If Van or if Starshaped were able to decide the third map in their favor. But I guess we're going to find out soon. For now, we're going to try and find out who's being victorious on Concealed Hill, as we have that aggressive creep already. And guess who is there? Yep, here comes the Keeper. And who gets the experience for this one? Augur Magi is there, Wand of Illusion, and the experience gets sucked up by the Demon Hunter right away. And now the Keeper is on the run. It's another mana burn straight up to the face. And this is actually one of the things that in the past have really forced some players to make changes when it comes to, for example, abilities and skills that they take. So if you see a Demon Hunter going up against an undead player that starts with the Death Knight first, for example, quite often you'll not even see the Death Coil as the level 1 ability, but instead the Aura, since obviously after 2-3 mana burns you're out of mana anyways and you won't have any use of this. So a lot of undead players back when that happened just decided that they have more of an advantage if they go into the Aura first of all. But either way, we have for now Foggy being attacking quickly to tier 2. Same also for Sonic, both of them with the exact same timing here. And thanks to the Wand of Illusion, we have another aggressive camp creep here from Sonic. So he's actually doing fairly well with this. If he's able to take all the items and all of these slots for himself, that would be fantastic. He has a double circlet of nobility already, so really nice stats boost for him too. The Keeper, not on level 2 yet. We're currently seeing him just roaming the map, attempting to go check if he can maybe get another creep check in. But this is a pretty... I mean, again, he already grabbed the first drop. He's going for the second one right now. That's normally not the creep spots that you're going for, so it's more of an aggressive stance that he has. It's also taking him a fair amount of time to take that bad boy down, and he gets another Wand of Illusion. This just feels a little bit silly. You just sacrifice the Wand of Illusion to get another Wand of Illusion. Now, obviously, he got a little bit more. Nice mana burn, shutting down that ensnare that was about to hit him. So, yeah, he got the experience as well. But if I was him, I would feel a little bit trolled at this point. And he has Boots of Speed now, he has the double circle of nobility, so don't get me wrong, it's not like he got nothing out of his aggression around the shops. But if you use the entire Wand of Illusion that you found at shop number 1 to creep shop number 2, and then you find another item, this is exactly the same, then you're probably just sitting there with a bit of a copper face and you're just thinking, seriously? Is that what I get for my efforts here? Now he's at least level 2, so is the Keeper though. And with the boots he can definitely start to be a pretty big nuisance there for his opponent, who is, by the way, now roaming the map himself and trying to see if he can maybe get some experience and also a few additional items for him. But yeah, up to the top, what do we have in terms of tech? The tier 2 tech nearly completed. We're still having the Demon Hunter sitting around, seeing if he can maybe find a couple of wisps there. Also obviously very interested to see where his opponent is currently sitting. And thanks to the Archer, he knows exactly what's going on. Naga in play, and Panda Power is also there. Alright, take 2, ladies. Second attempt here. Mana burn on level 1, obviously only relieving the heroes of 50, so needs to be a little bit more careful here. I like that. Dust of Appearance, and the Archer down. The surround attempt here against the Panda though, and yep, it seems like Little Chen has a problem. Or Marsha Storm Stout. Could probably trade for an Archer or two. That's exactly what we're trying to see here. Yep, there's another Breath of Fire. Maybe the Panda is down. That's a sentence that you hear quite a lot these days. Not only in this game. So, with this, we're having, again, Sonik already sitting at the Fountain of Health. I mean, another thing that obviously happened earlier, too. We have the Ancient of Lore currently being built by him. But one of the things that you might have already caught up on, especially when we're looking at things like the supply numbers, the Ancient of War that he earlier built over here has obviously been destroyed. So there's no additional archers that he actually built. So the only thing that he relied on the entire time was really just the heroes. That's why we have also the surplus in archers on the side of Foggy. And again, the attempt to go for that little sneak move here, which we've seen from Xlord already previously. You lure out the Orc-Lord, then you surround it, and you have a much easier time taking that. If he would be able to take... Oh my god, he stole the XP! Oh god, like, I actually like that a Night Elf is getting a taste of their own medicine here, but yeah, there is nothing more annoying than that. So the mana burns, they keep coming through, a bit of an attempt to go for the body block. It's not only an attempt, holy shit, he is body blocking him to death. Literally, what the hell? Oh, 5 hit points! What? Oh, that Demon Hunter! Oh my god, Sonic! I mean, hell, didn't even go for the town portal. Honestly, I would have hammered that TP button at this moment. But the body blocks from the Naga, not bad, Fred. That was pretty solid. The Demon Hunter with the boots of speed, and it doesn't matter at all. Really, really well done there. That was actually pretty epic. So yeah, good job. But obviously, thanks to the Moonwells, we're having that set up again. We're having archers also starting to block the Demon Hunter there a little bit. Foggy is just body blocking him into oblivion. Boots of speed? Yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm still going to just body block everything here. And well, one archer at least goes down, so there's a bit of extra experience for the Pandaren Brewmaster. But holy hell, what a setup there. Nicely done. Well, with all of this said and done, 30 supply currently against 30. Foggy is now sitting with a double Ancient of Lore and a complete attack into tier 2 in a pretty good spot. Again, the aggression against the Demon Hunter here. And at this point, Sonic is probably more than a little bit annoyed. Yep, there's still no boots, but obviously you have the Ancient Django of Endurance that makes up for a lot of that. Staff of Preservation is being used there too. Yeah, that item definitely paid off for all of the what it's worth in gold. I mean, seriously, that aura helped the Nagasi a bit earlier. It just helped the Keeper, and that Demon Hunter is more than a little bit salty. It's like, wait a second, I'm usually one that body blocking people here, okay? I'm the one that should be the one being aggressive, not the other way around. So yeah, very, very well done. So. With this, we're now having also more attacks against the Pandas. They're trying to go for the archers again. The mana burns, they keep coming in at this point with all the consistency on the mana burns. We have obviously seen both of those heroes drop in mana pretty significantly. The Tree of Ages taking up into the Tree of Eternity. And as we've seen in the last game, now with Dryads being produced out of 2 lores, we had a much faster attack for Foggy. This time, we're seeing Sonic just way, way quicker on that end. So, quite nice for him. And we have down to the bottom of the map, double Ancient of Lore, the Druids are coming in, and the expansion of Foggy is this time going to be attacked a little bit quicker. Naga didn't get the item. The Crystal Ball has been taken right here. Naga didn't get it, so that's a good one. Ursula! Blizzard again with the shittiest names here. 47 supply, but boys, I'm going to be honest with you. Sonik is now in a much better position than he was previously. Now, this one is also going to be saved, likely. Oh, well, he should probably still try and move it away, which he didn't. But there's now another one coming in, so the slows are plenty on both sides. And no way! 8 hit points on one, and he at least takes this one. So he trades the Dryad for a Dryad and also gets one low. But obviously, the attack against the expansion is this time going to be a lot more aggressive. The last time he tried it with a lot of piercing damage around the archers and Dryads. This time, he's more so focused onto Druids of the Claw in Master form. Has a level 1 Panda. Not really the biggest deal here, but he can still level that up a little bit. Whereas on the other side, we're having more focus on ranged units again. Also, the Keeper with double scrolls, already obviously very, very in the know what's going to happen here. With all the Breath of Fire and all the AoE, needs to make sure that he has a bit of AoE healing as well. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. But yeah, down at the bottom, that's again the creep, just trying to get the Panda a little bit higher. Level 2 is guaranteed at this point. And the Demon Hunter hits level 3. Okay, so with Demon Hunter on 3, Panda on 2, he can now finally start to make his play. And in addition to that, finds the Scroll of the Beast just as he's going into the Druids anyways. This, on the other hand, would be a nice creep jack, but you obviously have to be careful that your opponent can't find with a Fountain of Health in the back. But there's the TP, yeah, doesn't want to risk that. Another mana burn against the Naga, not that it really mattered there. The good part for Foggy is that he took down the Red Drake. So he got the item, he took the Red Drake down, and that was an important part of this. If that doesn't happen, then yeah, it's a problem. And honestly, Foggy is quite lucky. I mean, it's unfucking-believable. Not only did he find the Engine Django of Endurance, which gives him attack speed, movement speed bonus, he also got the hilarious Flute of Accuracy. Very, very cool items considering the composition that he's currently playing here, especially with the mass range that he's trying to go for. There's the Wand of Illusion already putting to the test, and yep, there we go. Already using the Skull of the Beast, having also the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Roar is in play, and that AoE is immediately down. But let's find out if Sonik can break through this time. It's 56 supply against 64, so Foggy definitely has the lead on this one. But we're having the Keeper incredibly low, and he still has that Skull of Healing, so that's something. But he's down to 140 supply, 140 hit points. That's not a whole lot. Drops the Stroll, but that's not going to be enough in the long run. The problem is also that we're seeing the Druids fall. That's a massive problem. The Demon Hunter is also not looking too pretty. I mean, he has the Orb of Venom, don't get me wrong, but still, he needs a bit more than that. And there's the TP as Foggy, again, dominant with a double aura items already. Massive, massive advantage for his army. And with a 70 supply against 53 right now, Foggy is just looking absolutely stellar in this second game of the series. And he already has the lead in the best of 3. He's taken game number 1. If he takes it here on Concealed Hill, that would only mean that we have the first player in the grand final. So Sonik has to find an answer somehow. Twice we've seen Sonik open up with the Demon Hunter, twice we've seen him go up against an expansion on the side of his opponent, and twice he wasn't able to get enough damage in quick enough. He used 2 different strategies. He went into the Druids this time with a much faster tech, more aggressive creeping, and Foggy seems to be ready for everything. But then again, having those items definitely helped a lot. With this many units, that much of an attack speed bonus, in addition to having extra damage on those as well. I mean, he has 1/1 upgrades now on the units too, with an attack and an armor upgrade. You look over to those Druids, and all that they can really muster is 1 armor upgrade against their opponent there. In terms of the item count, we're now having at least the Pendant of Energy. For the Panda, that's actually pretty cool, so he's going to be able to get more AoE in. But then you look over to that army, and the big chunk of that army consists of Dryads right now. Against Archers, those Breath of Fires would be a lot better used, but as it stands, the attempt to go for the victory. Foggy had enough of this. He starts to go in. He wants the win here. There's already the Forked Lightning to take those Wisps down. Nicely done by the Naga, and there's the big army, and they're immediately starting to burn everything apart here. It looks like we're going to see one of the Moonwells already fall. It's not going to supply block him if it happens, but it's definitely going to be a little bit annoying. Here comes the Roar again, and the Dispel from the Dryads is there immediately. The aggression happening once more. We're having, again, the heals all over the place. The Panda with the power against the Naga, but already mirrored back. We're still seeing the Keeper with a mana potion in the inventory that he could use at any point. Foggy's at 63 supply. Sonik is dropping down to 48. We're having a bit more action from the Demon Hunter as he's moving in. Needs to be careful here still. And the Panda is rocking himself through those trees in the backline. The Naga being attacked again. The Naga goes down. Nicely done. Foggy not paying attention for just a second. The Naga is toast, and all of a sudden Foggy might be in trouble here. 54 supply against 40, but the Demon Hunter is doing Demon Hunter things. He's starting to chase them down one after another. Down to the bottom of the map still. We're having the Keeper on the run. 4.5 for him. The Panda nearly reaching level 4 as well. And there's now the attempt to heal a couple of the units at the Fountain of Health, but even that doesn't work out because Sonik is already there. Gets another Dryad executed, but the fight down here is still on play. The Naga being bought back already by Foggy. He's sitting at 56 supply, and the heal position has been taken by Sonik. He's down to 43, but he has the level 4 Demon Hunter closing in on level 5. And he has the Panda nearly on the next level as well. Still a bit of scouting going on from Foggy. He wants to know if there's an expansion. He already knows that that's not the case. So he has the lead still in terms of the income. He's back to 60 supply right now and has a huge advantage now in terms of numbers for them. But still, the attack is coming, and this is a bit of a Hail Mary move on the side of the Night Elf player in yellow. He needs to try and take this down, and it's going to be pretty difficult. I mean, there's no town portal, so if you had a few more units to really rush this, you might have a chance. But as it stands, it is going to come back to a fight here. Does he have a town portal? Can he try and sneak it in? No, he can't. He has a double staff of preservation, but that's all that he has, so he can't really go for it. And he's honestly running out of options. He needs to make a decision. Does he try and expand? But that would, in the long run, probably lead to a loss on his part and just allow Sonik to get a bit more, just allow Foggy to get a little bit stronger here and then to move in. So it seems like Sonik doesn't have the foggiest what he's supposed to do here right now. His opponent is currently just sitting tight and gets another ensnare in. Pressure on the Demon Hunter. No potion for him this time, but a couple of Dryads for the Dispel are ready. Here comes the attack again. Raw already used. Dryads are falling on both sides. It's all about the heroes right now. Demon Hunter on level 3 might change the game a little bit here in his favor. The Panda is already on level 4, and the Demon Hunter just needs a bit of experience to hit the next level here, putting the pressure onto the Keeper. If he can take the heroes down, and with just its Staff of Preservation already being used, the Keeper in a bit of trouble, is still moving away here, and that Endurance Aura is just doing so much for him right now. Keeper still alive, Demon Hunter on 5, and with the Druids of the Claw on the Master rank also joining the fun now for the Red Night Elf player. We're having the Rejuvenation already cast in. The Panda in trouble, and the Panda is slowed and goes down. Staff wasn't on cooldown. Sonik leaves the game, and this is Foggy advancing to the grand final of the first qualifier for the Endgame Gear Masters. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.